Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Jeff. Today's advice relates to going into no contact when your girlfriend unilaterally breaks up with you while you still want to be with her. But before that, hit subscribe to my channel to get dating advice just like this, as my goal is to help you understand women and get your dating and relationship life to be the best it can be. When your girlfriend breaks up with you in a unilateral fashion, make sure that you first communicate clearly that you don't agree with that decision so she understands that first and foremost. And then what you have to do is go into no contact. If she suggests that, maybe we should just stay friends or we can keep close for a while we sort this out, you don't want to accept that. You want to make sure you communicate clearly that that's not what you're interested in and go into no contact. This is counterintuitive, and for most guys, including myself for most of my dating life growing up, our reaction when something like this happens is to quickly go into our kind of problem-solving response, and we have to say, oh, I have to do something or say something, or I got to really jump into action here to try and save this relationship and change her mind. The thing is, though, at this point, it's too late. You're only going to start causing more harm because you're trying to be rational with her, and at this point, she's acting on her feelings that have kind of built up to this point where she's had enough and she's breaking up with you. So anything you say or try and convince her, it's not really going to do anything. You'll probably end up causing more harm because you're going to start to get emotional. And please do not ever start begging or pleading or even crying in front of her, trying to get her to stay and not leave. It's, disgusting behavior, quite frankly, and she's probably going to never want to speak to you again. And I would never blame her because that's not masculine at all. And that is the worst thing you can do to try and get her back. Honestly, she may even stay with you for a bit because of pity, but any ounce of respect she had for you is probably gone at that point, and she's just kind of, waiting until things settle down to try and get out again, because that is not how we're supposed to act as men, and it's just, you can't do that in front of her when she does this. Begging and pleading is not going to do anything. It's the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do. There's a 99% chance that this isn't just some snap decision that she's made. Her feelings have built up to this point. You've done enough things wrong in the relationship where you've pushed her away, caused her attraction to get lower and lower, and she's now come to a point where she's making this decision and letting you know. So it's not a snap decision that you're going to be able to say something and change her mind right then and there by trying to convince her. It doesn't matter how great you were for the first 75, 80, even 90% of your relationship. She's reached this point where that's how she's feeling right now. That's where her feelings have gotten to, and that's what she's acting upon, because women act on emotions. It's just how they are scientifically and biologically, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to understand that. So even if you start rationalizing with her and say, oh, but we had all these great times, look at this, she's acting on what's happening in the moment, how she's feeling in that moment based on all those actions you've taken to kind of get her to that point. Most likely you started to become a little insecure or needy, or maybe kind of over pursued her and her attraction started to drop. Or other things that can happen is if it's a longer relationship, life gets in the way, there's work, there's many things that come in the way, and then people get complacent. It happens to all of us, we're human. So you may start to pay attention to her less, maybe you start listening to her less, you're not really, you're kind of just going through the motions, you're not really listening to what she has to say, you're not understanding what she has to say. And, time over time, it's going to start to lower her attraction. And when that happens, she's going to get to this point where a lot of guys say it's like it came out of nowhere. I have no idea why she wanted to end the relationship. I think things are going fine. But the reality is when you've acted that way, it's starting to crush her attraction and pushing her away, those little bits at a time where she gets to this breaking point where she's breaking up with you. No contact is the best course of action you can take at this point, because she's going to get the space to have the clarity that she needs, whatever that may be. But more importantly, you are going to have the time to now figure out where you went wrong and work on improving those things and correcting that. I've come across advice on this platform basically criticizing no contact and saying that if you're going to do it, you should essentially let the woman know and then set a timer, like to check the temperature. So like you tell her maybe 30 days or 60 days, and then at that point, I'll agree that I'll come back and see how you're doing and check. That's an asinine kind of piece of advice, because all you really do is, what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and go, okay, I've been so good for 30 days. Please, can I come back? Like, it's a ridiculous notion. You're essentially just, again, seeking validation from her. I've also seen others say that no contact is toxic and a form of manipulation. And I think that's a disingenuous way of framing it and not really telling their viewers the true point of it. Sure, you can intentionally use it to harm someone else. Like if that's your intent, you can frame it and say it's toxic, but that's not really the true purpose of no contact. The true purpose of no contact is to take that time, understand where you went wrong, and correct it. You got to go on this kind of self-development, personal development journey, understand where you're wrong. Because like I said, you're not going to be able to say anything that's going to convince her to come back. There's something that you obviously did in the relationship to push her away. You know, if we're talking about a relationship that didn't end because of cheating or anything ridiculous like that, just kind of out of the blue, she just said doesn't want to be with you anymore. Obviously, she lost attraction. That's something that you're going to have to understand what you did wrong. So follow my channel. I'll give you all the tips in the world on how to understand women and how to approach the next relationship you have. But the thing is, you need to take this time during no contact and better yourself. Create a better value proposition for yourself and put yourself back out in this world. When you do that, great things are going to happen for you. She ended the relationship, right? She basically said she doesn't want to spend time with you. And time is the most precious asset that we have. So you want to find somebody that values your time. But in the meantime, you got to spend your time wisely and improve yourself, make yourself better. The added bonus of no contact is you're doing the masculine thing. She's basically requested space and you're going to grant that. And by doing that, you're walking away. You're giving her the time that is needed for her to possibly miss you, right? Because you've done the things that have pushed her away. Now you are going to give her space. I'll say it time and time again, and it bears repeating every single time. Attraction grows in space. So by doing this, doing no contact, letting her have her space that she requested, you're respecting it and giving it to her, and you're giving that space. Attraction could go back. This is the best chance for you to get your ex back, because if you're there trying to convince her, it's just not going to work. If you're out there leveling yourself up, making you the best you can be, you may get to a point where she actually does come back because she does miss you. You gave her that space, no problem, and acted like a man. But you've leveled yourself up so much, she may not have improved herself that much and kind of comes back the same. And you may get to a point where the value you have, you don't even want her back. I've seen that happen time and time again, where you're kind of at this point now where you've built that confidence, you've built and learned all the things about women and dating and relationships and really yourself. And you've become the man that is just far and above what you were when you pushed her away in this relationship. And you may think, heck no, I'm dating this other girl. I met this other girl during this time apart, because you have no idea when she's going to come back. That's why you don't spend the time waiting for her to come back, and why I said you don't set days and say, okay, in 30 days I'll check. You have no idea. You can't. It's not an oven. You're not going to know when she's going to come back or if she's going to come back. That's why the purpose of no contact is to level yourself up. But there is the added bonus where she's not going to be anywhere near you because you gave her your space. That means no Instagram likes, no messages on her birthday, none of that. You don't do any of that, okay? Don't do any of that. And it's going to create the space where attraction could grow back for you. Worst case scenario, you've leveled yourself up and you've learned a whole bunch of stuff during this time, which is going to have you be incredibly successful in the next relationship that you're in. The most important thing is to value your time. And if you're valuing your time, because imagine you spend your time trying to get her back for 6 months or whatever, and she doesn't want you back. Imagine you spend your time leveling yourself up and she comes back, and then now you're a totally different person and you guys get into a great relationship where you know how to be perfect for the rest of your life. If you do this and spend this time wisely in no contact, because you're not going to convince her, you're not going to spend 6 months trying to, reach out. You're not going to set a time limit and reach out and say, hey, are we good now? You spent this time leveling up, and if she does come back because she does miss you during this no contact phase, you're going to be an even better man, and you're going to be even better in the relationship and be more equipped to have a happier relationship with her. And if she doesn't come back, you spent your time, again, our greatest asset, and it's all finite. You spent that wisely, being the best you can be, and you're going to find somebody else who's a higher quality woman who appreciates spending your time with you. The point is, no contact is the best step you can take when your girlfriend breaks up with you and you don't agree with it. It's going to be a benefit to both of you. You're going to spend your time growing, learning, becoming a better man, and she's going to get the space she needs to figure out whatever it is, whether that's reattraction to you, or if she moves on to somebody else, then you didn't spend your time chasing after her for no reason. That's the part of it that makes the most sense. So you want to spend that time wisely, and it's the best decision you can make. But make sure you understand, when you're in this no contact time, just don't wait for her to say, okay, I'm going to give her space now, and hopefully she comes back. You should be putting in the effort to make yourself better. Like, we can all improve, and it's going to be your effort that's required. It can't just magically happen. So if you put in that effort, it's going to be positive no matter what happens down the line. You're going to become more masculine, you're going to understand women better, and you're going to have, a great position whether she comes back or the next one that steps into your life. Thanks for checking out this video. Hit subscribe, like the video, and comment below your thoughts. Also, if you have any dating or relationship questions, you can email me at questions@elevatemyrelationships.com. I'll try to respond to you and give you some advice, and I may even use your content. I'll keep your identity anonymous, but I may use your scenario to create a video down the line where we can help other guys learn from mistakes. I'll see you next time. Thanks for checking out this video. Hit subscribe, like the video, and comment below your thoughts. Also, if you have any dating or relationship questions, you can email me at questions@elevate